Hey everybody, welcome to the Magic Weekly News Update for December 17th, 2017 on the Mana Leak. I'm John as always, and this week we have a handful of fun bits of news. Up first, if you haven't seen evidence of it already at your LGS, Mark Rosewater has confirmed that Unstable is selling quite well. I know at my LGS, the entire first shipment was nearly sold on release day, and the shop owner had to quickly place some more orders since the demand was so high. I've said this more than a few times already, but it's an extremely fun draft set. I strongly recommend you go to an LGS and draft it, buy a box and play with it with friends. Just draft this set. It's going to crack into my top 10 formats of all time list, I think. If you're a bit iffy because you don't want to do silly stuff like the Hokey Pokey, there's not that much of it in the set. Sure, Friday night, both me and my opponent were playing with our chins on the table while I was desperately trying to hide an entirely normal armchair on the battlefield that he already knew about. But there's a massive portion of the set that's just silly rules-wise, stuff that wouldn't quite work in Black Border. It's not all just weird physical shenanigans where you make a fool of yourself. I'll be drafting it hopefully one or two more times at the store, as well as doing my live stream draft and possibly another at-home draft, at which point I'll be buying the rest of the cards I don't have enough copies of to build a cube to recreate the experience of drafting this set. Seriously, it's that fun. So it's very good to hear that it's selling very well, and confirmation that suggests a decent future for the possibility of an unstable, or not but an unset number 4 at some point in the future, hopefully not 13 years from now. Up next, Loading Ready Run is still producing Friday nights, their comedic web series where caricatures of themselves play and discuss magic, and they released the latest in this series titled A Cameron Carol. In a parody of A Christmas Carol, Cameron grumpily refuses to attend the annual holiday draft party and is visited by various ghosts. There's tons of cameos from MTG personalities, and it's definitely one of my favorite, if not my single most favorite Friday nights to date. Check it out for sure. The professor had a brief Twitter conversation with Channel Fireball speculating about how much fun it would be if Pauper events were held at their Grand Prix in 2018. After a ton of support from others, CFB pretty quickly said, sure, let's do it. As a result, all January Grand Prix will have Pauper side events, something that really hasn't been offered very much at most Grand Prix. They'll be identical to MTGO events using MTGO rarities and the MTGO ban list, and presumably if they fire well, we can expect to see them at GPs for the rest of the year. So if you want to play Pauper at some of the highest levels you possibly can, definitely head to a GP next month and play some side events. Finally this week, we got to see some Ixalan promos and packaging. The Rivals of Ixalan, packs show a couple people we know, Angrath and Kumena, as well as a vampire and a dinosaur person who look generic enough that I don't expect them to be named characters. And oh man, a Dilophosaurus, the spitting dinosaur from Jurassic Park. And it's very much the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park, because there's zero evidence that the real one spit venom or had neck frills. Sorry to burst your bubble. We got to see the new cards from the Angrath and Vraska Planeswalker decks, which likely will have no impact as they're really designed to be introductory products only. There was some minor arguments / discussion about Vraska being mono-black and asking if this suggests her abandoning the Golgari, or perhaps she's a vampire because it's the vampire deck. It was confirmed though that this was purely for deck construction reasons. It has nothing to do with the story. There's no vampire Vraska. She's not abandoning the Golgari. It was just because this was a mono-black deck, and they needed a mono-black Planeswalker, and she was the only one that worked. We got to see some promos as well. We already knew about the Silvergill Adept full art promo for attending the open house January 6th or 7th, but we got to see a few more. If you participate in an official league, many stores like mine run unofficial leagues, and frankly they're much more fun, you will get a very nice looking Evolving Wilds. Buy a box of Rivals and you'll get a foil alternate art copy of Captain's Hook, an equipment that makes anything a Menacey Pirate with +2/+0 bonus, but if you unattach that hook, or it becomes unattached in some other way, then that creature just goes kaput. If you attend a draft weekend event on release weekend, January 20th or 21st, you get a foil alt art copy of Brass's Bounty, a sorcery that creates a treasure for every land you have in play, essentially doubling your mana. But it also costs 7 mana to cast, so don't expect me to talk very much about this card after the set reviews are over. Finally, we get to see the FNM Magic promos for the next few months. I'll still take the controversial opinion that I actually like getting the tokens as my promo prize, but that topic's been done to death. Earn a token, various stores give them out in various ways, and you'll get either a foil 1/1 Merfolk with a treasure on the backside, just like the 3 that we've been getting for the past few months, except this one's a Merfolk, or you could get one of Jace's Illusions with a 1/1 Saproling on the backside, or you can get City's Blessing, a token which has nothing but flavor text, so Who knows what this does? I'm going to speculate, though, as most people already have, that it's something like Monarch from Conspiracy. It's an effect that you get, and as a result, something happens if you have the city's blessing, perhaps drawing a card, like Monarch. On the back side of this, there is an O1 elemental token that has rules text saying you can sack it during your upkeep and return Rekindling Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield with haste. We'll have to see what the spoilers, which I'm expecting to see a couple of this week, and then of course a number the following week, and then the full spoiler week will be leading up to the 6th of January, the 5th of January, which is when the first set review will happen. But I would expect to see some cards, perhaps even explaining what City's Blessing means, as well as perhaps showing Rekindling Phoenix. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for the news this week. Some very fun little bits of information leading up into the holiday period. Next week, I'm not sure how much news there's going to be. If there is news, there will be a video. If there's just nothing happening because everybody's on vacation, then I might skip the news video. We'll have to see. But let me know what you thought of the news this week. Are you excited? Are you going to go and play Pauper at a Grand Prix? Let me know about that. I used to play Pauper a long time ago, 5-6 years ago online, and it can definitely be a very fun format. So if you do have one nearby, go and check it out. Let me know what you think of those promos. Did you check out Friday nights, etc. in the comments below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at TheManaLeak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeak, Twitch.tv/TheManaLeak, and Patreon.com/TheManaLeak. If you like the content, click that thumbs up button. Click subscribe if you haven't already and you want to see more. And if you do have questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see you all next time.